Hi friends, we have learned about many different habitats. Today we're going to learn about a last habitat. This is the farm. Remember, a habitat is a place where animals and plants live together. My friends, say habitat with me. Habitat. That's where plants and animals live together. This is our last habitat, the farm. A farm is a little bit different than all the other habitats we learned about, friends. On a farm, there are people to take care of the plants and the animals so that they have everything that they need to grow. People bring the animals to the farm and they keep them there in these fences. People buy seeds and plant crops that grow on the farm. People do not take care of the plants and animals that we saw in the woodland, the pond, the ocean, or the desert. There are no people there to take care of those plants and animals. The plants and animals that live in those habitats are wild. Can you say wild? In the woodland, the pond, the ocean, or the desert, they live and they grow without people. In this picture, we see the farm habitat. My friends, say farm. Lots of plants and animals grow on the farm, but there are people called farmers that take care of the plants and animals. The animals live in the barn, and some of the plants, like corn, are stored in the silo. This is the silo. It's a tall, round building that's behind the barn. So today I want you to listen and find out how the farmers help plants and animals grow on the farm. Look and listen carefully and see if you can remember some of the animals and plants that the farmers grow. Because I'm going to ask you to name them for me and draw me some pictures when we're done reading. Remember, when we learn new habitats and new stories, we learn new words. My friends, say coop. A coop is a shelter for chickens to sleep and lay their eggs. My friends, say hay. Hay is dried grass that the animals can eat, like a horse. My friends, say pasture. A pasture is a fenced field where the animals live and eat grass. My friends, say shearing. Shearing means to shave off hair or fur. My friends, say wool. Wool is a sheep's fur that can be made into fabric or sweaters that you wear. And my friends, say rooting. Rooting means to use a snout, like on a pig, to dig around in the ground to search for food. Let's look at some pictures. My friends, say rooting. These pigs are rooting. They're using their snout, their nose, to dig around and search for food. My friends, say hay. We see this hay or hay bales in the barn. Remember, hay is something that horses might use. Remember, hay is dried grass that animals can eat. Hay. My friends, say flow. Flow means to move. My friends, say flow. Flow means to move through. So we see that this cow has milk flowing down through this tube. My friends, say coop. In this picture, we see a chicken coop. The chicken coop is a shelter where the chickens can sleep and lay their eggs. Coop. My friends, say pasture. Pasture is a fenced-in field where the animals live and eat grass. So here's the fence, and here's the field where all the animals and grass are. Pasture. Ooh, I see. That's sheep. And a sheep's fur is called wool. And it looks like they're shearing him. They're cutting or shaving him. My friends say shearing. They're shaving off his fur. His fur is called wool. That's something that we might have on our sweaters or on our jackets when we get cold. Let's start reading. Make sure your boots and bandanas are tied tight, everyone. Today we are going to visit a farm to see what kind of animals and plants live there. Look at the big red barn with the silo and the horses grazing in the field. I wonder what's inside. Let's hop out of the truck and start exploring. Moo! Do you hear that sound? Look over there behind the fence. There are some spotted cows grazing on tasty green grass. Up ahead, I see pigs rooting around in the mud for something to eat. Let's walk along this road and see what else lives at the farm. Cows say moo. What do the pigs say? Good job. What other things live and grow on the farm? We see the barn where there might be horses. We see the chicken coop and the chickens. We see plants and maybe vegetables growing. And I see a house. Who lives in a house? People lives in the house. Nay, I hear horses whinnying from the inside the barn where it is cool and shady. Look, the farmers have stored some hay for the horses to eat in the hayloft. Meow. It looks like the barn cat has just sauntered outside to get some warmth in the sun. Now let's take a peek inside those big barn doors and see what other animals live on the farm. Moo! One of the cows has come inside to be milked. Do you see Laura? She's using a milking machine to milk the mother cow. The milk will flow through these tubes and into the big shiny container. It will eventually be put into plastic jugs and sold at the grocery store. Oink, oink. I hear a grunting sound coming from the stall by the cows. I wonder what animal might be living over there. What animal did you think we heard? Good job. We heard the pig. Oink, oink. Do you hear that? At the back of the barn, a sow is taking care of her litter of piglets. They have dry hay inside their stall so they can stay cozy and warm. Let's step outside of the barn and see who else lives on the farm. My friends, this is a mommy pig. She's called a sow. And the baby pig is called a piglet. Let's see who else is on the farm. Cluck. I can hear the hens that live in the chicken coop. beside the barn. During the day, the hens find cozy places inside the coop to lay their eggs. And at sunset, the hens go into the coop to stay safe and warm. Woof, woof. Betsy the dog loves living on the farm. Betsy makes sure that the chickens stay inside their fence. If they get out, they might wander over and peck at all of the delicious vegetables growing in the garden. We have to keep the cabbage safe so that we can make some delicious soup for dinner. My friends, remember when we learned about plants? We learned how different vegetables can grow in the gardens. Do you remember some of those other vegetables? Remember we learned about pumpkins and we learned about zucchini. They grow from plants and they have seeds to make more. If we take good care of the chickens, they will take good care of us by laying eggs that we can eat for breakfast. Every morning, Edgar makes sure the chickens have plenty of corn to eat and water to drink. Then he looks inside the coop and he collects the eggs that the hens have laid. My friends, have you had eggs for breakfast? Did you know that your eggs come from the hens that live on the farm? My friends, some people do not like to eat chicken eggs because they do not like them or because they think that eggs should not be taken from the mommy hen. Over in the garden, Martha is harvesting tomatoes so she can make a tomato salad for lunch. When it doesn't rain, she waters the roots of the tomato vines. That might be the stem. So the tomatoes can grow big and juicy. Maybe she can give us some tomatoes so we can take them home and use them to make some pizza sauce. Have you had tomatoes? You use tomatoes to make pizza sauce, spaghetti sauce, and maybe chili. And some people put tomatoes on tacos. And some people use tomatoes for their ketchup. I'm sure you've eaten most of these foods. Tomatoes aren't the only food that Martha grows on the farm. She also grows carrots, zucchinis, potatoes, and even pumpkins. Those are the vegetables we learned about. Think of all the delicious foods we can cook with these ingredients. Now that we have seen the barn, the chicken coop, and the garden, let's go back out to the field and see what else grows on the farm. My friends, we saw the carrots, the zucchini, the pumpkin, and the potatoes. You can make all kinds of food with these crops that grow on the farm. We can make French fries with potatoes. We can make pumpkin pie with the pumpkin. What other things do we eat that you think comes from a farm? Bah! Look, the sheep and cows are out in the pasture, grazing together. The farmer has made sure that they have fresh green grass to munch on. Way beyond the pasture, a farmer is driving a tractor through the crop fields to harvest the crops. Those are all the vegetables out there. Remember, a pasture is a field with a fence around it. where the animals like cows and sheep can walk around and eat their grass and stay safe. Over in the corner of the pasture, one of the farmers is shearing the sheep. Remember, that means shaving off fur. The sheep are all feeling really hot. Their thick, woolly fleeces have been growing all winter to keep them warm. But now the spring is here, and they are so happy that the farmer is going to cut off their wool coats. Vroom! Beyond the pasture, the farmer is working in the crop field. He's driving a tractor through rows of vegetables to harvest them. I can't believe how much food is grown on a farm. Being a farmer looks like it's hard work. Well, now that we've seen the whole farm, it's time to go. Visiting the farm is fun. When we eat dinner tonight, I will think about all the foods that are grown on the farm. Let's say goodbye to all the animals we met on our visit. Goodbye, cow. Goodbye, pigs. Goodbye, chickens. Goodbye, dog. Goodbye, sheep.